I'm Greg Heineman. I'm the Deputy Creative Director at Bloomsbury, and I'm responsible for some of the cover designs that we do here. An interesting fact about my job is that I get to do whatever I choose that the cover demands. I will get a new project from my editor and I'll listen to them talk about the book, and I will then receive a written brief which tells me all kinds of information: who the characters are, what the time period is, other books it might be like, and what happens in the story. And then I will go away from that. I will try and do 20 to 30 designs. They might be illustration or photography or typographic. And I will then, once I'm happy with those, I'll go to my creative director and say, what do you think of these? And we'll whittle them down to about 8 and then take them to a cover meeting, which is where all the sales and marketing people are and the editors, and they hopefully will say, that's the one. Growing up, I was around books all the time, but I never realised that you could make a living as an artist within publishing. I did GCSE art, and I did A-levels, and I did history of art, and then I did a degree. I took a job as a bookseller, and one day I sort of had a eureka moment where I saw a big table full of beautiful books, and I looked at them and I was like, oh my God, someone does this for a living, and that could be me. And it seemed to draw on fine art and graphic design, and I could use those skills to absolutely do this job. So I took a job working as a junior designer for a London publisher, and I've carried on ever since. I love reading, designing and illustrating, and creating my interpretation of an author's words is something that I find really exciting. With this project, I did perhaps 50 or 60 designs and illustrations. It may sound like a lot, but what happens is that I would take 10 to a cover meeting and they say, I'm not sure about that, let's try something else. And I'll keep pushing and pushing until we get exactly the right package. And this turned out to be it. So I decided to focus on a scene in the supermarket between these 3 characters, a security guard, the nanny, and the little toddler. I illustrated all 3 of them in Photoshop with my pen tablet. I might use an iPad another time, but I used Photoshop this time, and I drew it at huge scale so it could be used in all the marketing materials and on billboards and things like that. And I sort of stamped them in around the book like it's a wallpaper. And it became a really successful book and something that people have really loved.